What up, y'all? I know not everyone feels like listening to a 40+ minute poll plans video for the month, so I broke it up to abbreviate my thoughts in a more easily digestible way. I know half of y'all, though, ain't subscribed, so go ahead and do that. Like the video, leave a comment with what you think about the upcoming content and your plans as well. And if you want to see the whole video, I'll be providing a link to that as well. Check that out for sure. Thanks a million, and now let's get into what you're really here for, alright? Layle's, oh god, what is this going to be called? This changed from JP. What was formerly known as the 6-man co-op event. The event that bombed so hard that Global caught up to the same period in JP, and it still has yet to return as an official event. They scrapped that so hard, it is hilarious. If you're curious as to what it was like, because it doesn't matter now for Global because we're not going to see it. If you're curious what that was like, I recorded one run of it with my idiot buddies, where we kind of laughed at how ridiculous it was and did a stupid run, a couple stupid runs. It's called Black Nero Co-op Comedy, so you can search that, or I'll link it too. But it was it was a good time. But anyways, Layle's the star here. Layle's getting an upgrade. So let's talk a little bit about what Layle is getting, or got previously. I don't know. Anyways, Layle is getting a rework. His skill 1 now batteries the party before the brave hits, and the brave hits are now AoE, and the attack has 50% splash, and it still applies to the force debuff, which gets enemies into the air easier. Skill 2 didn't really change, except that it's easier to launch enemies now, so I think it's pretty much a guaranteed launch with skill 2, whereas before it wasn't quite guaranteed, so skill 2 you're pretty much good now. And with both skills, what's even newer is that Layle actually now hits weakness damage if he's hitting enemies with his unique force debuff active. So he's actually hitting a lot harder. Layle's LD attack is a double split AoE, brave plus HP, pretty standard stuff. Party battery and refund afterwards for Layle, and it launches the target and it makes the other one launchable, and it also inflicts his force debuff and hits weakness on people inflicted with the force debuff, so it's a pretty hard hitting skill as well. And Layle turn manipulates, but he moves himself behind a unit of choice, and this is probably good for 1, general turn manipulation obviously, and 2, setting up more launches. I forgot to mention earlier, I don't know if it's his LD that does this or if it's just his base kit, but his force debuff is now framed, so it doesn't get pushed off, and along with the 8 debuff, quality of life means force is pretty much you can manage it pretty easily, which is another great quality of life for Layle. Anyway, Layle gets his new overhead from his LD, and it gives him a fat attack up, which combined with the limit breaks on his LD gives him a substantial, he's hitting a lot harder, especially with that weakness damage on the force debuff active now, overflow up. And after Layle's turn is over, he actually gives the party brave back based on how much HP damage he did. I think it's 10%, which is pretty good. He gets an Embrave region for himself, so he's always got brave on his turns, and whenever he initiates a launch, no matter the turn order, the whole party will partake in it. So now Layle batteries on all skills except his EX, and this will definitely get fixed down the line with his Crystal 90. So Layle's battering on everything, and he can pretty much launch on every turn because force is up and his EX buff is up. So you're doing full party launches on all of Layle's turns, pretty much, barring some outliers, obviously. But yeah, so everyone's always in the air with Layle, and everyone's always partaking. Everyone will always have brave just because he always batteries. It's a very fluid kit, and they rounded him out very well. Also didn't mention that he gets debuff start with his LD, so the enemies will actually start with force, so he'll be hitting weakness damage and launching like crazy off the bat. Sadly, they don't start him with this EX buff, which hurts because the enemies aren't as launchable, but that'll probably get fixed down the line as well, but it's just a minor gripe. He also gets a special one-time HP after using his LD that batteries the party and launches, and it's also pretty good, but it's only one-time use. But it's nice if you need to get a launch off real quick and don't know how else to do it. His base call is skill 2, just does a launch, pretty basic stuff. LD call also launches and sets, well, it's an AoE attack, so it makes all the targets launchable after doing the main one single target. No turn manipulation here, but in the effect is a slight attack up, overflow, and Embrave region, which is alright. Depends, very useful if you're trying to set up launches, obviously. And what's important to note on his calls is that, with assuming you have his LD maxed out, that he has debuff start, so he'll actually apply the force debuff when you pull him out for the calls, which is situationally also very useful. Icing on the cake, he is getting a burst. He is a burst character. The effect, well, first off, the music is really cool in this fight. It really makes you want to play his game. But the effect, you get chase HP damage up, which already stacks when Layle initiates an HP damage, or excuse me, when Layle initiates a launch. If you didn't know this, on Layle's character board passives, he also got HP damage up when people partake in a launch. so that increases that as well. And if you're running Layle, you're obviously running Panda Summon, so that's going to stack as well. So you're getting really big damage in midair with Layle on the party. Embrave cap up, which is pretty significant, especially with all those HP damage modifiers. You're hitting really high numbers in midair without really having to try to. And there's party HP damage refund based on after every turn that the party member goes, you get refund based on that. It's also pretty good, and enemies are more easily launchable. So you're pretty much, while Layle's burst effect is in the air, enemies are going up every single turn. It's pretty crazy. Layle has the encouragement, the battery high armor, which again is necessary for him because he does so many brave gains in his kit. You need this armor for Layle. Additionally, he's got the HP damage split. So again, he's got so many HP damage modifiers when you're in the air and you're doing launches and stuff that, and you're running Panda with Layle, obviously. He heavily takes advantage of that high HP damage cap. Very good for him. What do I think about Layle? I think Layle is fantastic, and there aren't YouTube results to show it. My buddy Loken, he ran Layle, and no, not even ran past tense. He is still running Layle through Lufenia Plus. This dude enables launchers like crazy. He is one his own. He is the OG launcher, putting people in the air. You enable him with like stuff like Kai's Call, other launchers, HP damage up effects, and you just send people in the air. Skyrockets your score. Convenient for turn count because you're very turn efficient, doing multiple HP attacks in midair. Layle returns and dominates as the launch king. He buffs the party, crazy battery. This man has results like crazy, and it's just not on YouTube. And the I haven't seen him shows it's that take shows how dumb it is, because just because it ain't on YouTube doesn't mean it ain't been happening. Like for real. Layle's incredible. I think he's fantastic, especially with that burst. He can put up a lot of numbers, and he only gets better with time as we get more brave gain up supports like Porum and Ishtola and Bartz down the line, where you can make sure his batteries stay consistent and just pump out the numbers and the launches and the delays, because he's got the speed down and the turn manipulation with his LD and his skill 2, etc. He's got a lot going for him, and we should really be putting a lot of respect on his name, because Layle's pretty much always been good in this game. It's just not always been super accessible, except back during the C50 or C60 era. I don't remember what it was. It was Layle, Kate, Selfie, and doing launch meta. Those teams are possible again, and Layle enables a lot of it. The only thing he has in common with Sid Reigns is that he has battery and they go in the air. It's such, actually I don't even want to entertain that, just please know. I swear everybody gets really smooth brained when it comes to launch units, and he's not Kais. Kais enables them. We should understand the Layle and Kais synergy by now. Layle puts people in the air, Kais batteries while people are in the air. Really, it shouldn't need to be brought up at this point. Launch is very powerful, and again, I can't say it enough. Layle has results, just not in recording. Am I pulling on this banner? Yes, absolutely. I think Layle's fantastic. 2 weeks synergy. I'm not going to chase his burst, but I might consider tokening it, depending on my choices down the line, just because it's a different playstyle. Again, he's got results, and he is pretty much a hard carry for Transcendence 3, where the left side wants a yellow crystal and it's a launch orb. So Layle LD pretty much makes it cake. So you can't really go wrong with him there either. What else? Kais is on the banner, but I already have Kais. So those people who said they were skipping Kais for this banner, are you gonna pull through? Are you gonna follow through on your words? are you pulling for Kais here now, or are you gonna like wait? I'm not about to use Kais anymore, because if you ain't used Kais by now, you probably aren't gonna, for real. Like, people have been Square Enix airlining him like crazy, but I mean, if you missed out on that, you're probably a little salty, and yeah, so sorry, you kind of fell for the meme. Celez and Kryl are on the other banner, and those two along with Kais are also getting high armor plus. I'm not gonna go over those splits because those are older units, and if you're bluing them, you're doing it just because you feel like it. But yeah, this is definitely an ideal banner for me. I'm pulling good for all the events in his cycle. Layle does not have a known rerun, and we don't know what his Burst Plus or Crystal Level 90 EX Extension 2 is going to look like. So this is definitely the time to grab him, because who knows what the future may hold at this point. The Lufenia isn't terribly menacing at all. It's actually kind of cake. So JP actually got a bugged version. So if you go back and watch JP videos, including mine, I think, well, the way that, let me explain the fight in context first. The fight is just a launch orb, and that's it. Launch them plus 10. This is Square Enix Airlines, just food. However, they do go into a mode eventually where you need to launch them or else they have HP damage reduction like crazy. And this was what was bugged in JP, because you didn't actually need to launch them to get rid of it. It just didn't activate. So I actually figured this out later when I tried to fight again, doing a null run offline again. Like, I didn't record like an idiot again, but I was like, wait, why am I doing no damage? And it turned out you need to launch them to get rid of that HP damage reduction. Reading feels can't read Japanese, man. So yeah, don't use videos in JP as a reference for this fight, because a lot of them didn't realize the bug happened, at least the English speakers. I don't think they had anything threatening at some point. They have some weird turn manipulation gimmick, but this fight is honestly probably going to get steamrolled by most people. Layle obviously makes a cake. Layle, Kais, just general airlines, Rhymes of Cloud. Who else launches? Dessel. Yeah, Tifa launches, I guess, so even more reason to bring her again. There's so much you can do with this fight. Not really anything noteworthy. Once again, a nice breather from last month. And JP, wow, I'm actually surprised. I just looked it up now. I actually ran Aroha here. Surprised. I think that was the last time I ran her in the party. Aroha, Layle, and Kais reuniting the buddies together. Just a launch orb, and it just kind of DPS'd it down. It wasn't very exciting. So this time around, I want to use Layle again, just because I ain't used them in a minute. But maybe I'll run like Ramza, or maybe I'll go straight up airlines. I don't know. I might try out airlines, because I ain't done it often. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Good luck, guys. As for the changes to the event, so I'm making this video in advance, and I have no idea how the event might go. It's dependent on a lot of things. It still appears to be RNG farming based on when Gilgamesh might appear, and there was a chaos co-op for this JP side. So the fact that they took away the 6-man part is hilarious, but that still doesn't quite fix it. So to be determined how the event will go. Hopefully it doesn't suck. I'm not getting my hopes up, because RNG farming at its base for rewards and a burst token sounds horrible. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Please get it right, devs. Please, I'm begging you. I really don't want to grind this again. And that's it. Hope you all enjoyed the clip and found it informative. I do try my best, generally. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, comment what you think and your plans, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great content. The full video is linked, so check that out as well. Continue showing love. Good luck, everybody. Peace.